From the land of thousands of instant noodle flavors, this is the Soul Podcast. I'm King Sejong, reminding you that Korea is shaped like a rabbit, with its butt facing Japan. And here are your hosts, Emma Kalka and Joe McPherson.
And welcome to the Soul Podcast. This is Joe
and Emma.
And thank you for joining us today. It's something about every time we do a show, we're in the middle of a typhoon.
Is it us?
Yeah, okay.
Are we conjuring typhoons?
We're conjuring typhoons because there's another one. There's a tropical storm brewing southeast of Japan right now.
Mm-hmm. But that one's supposed to hit on Monday.
Did we plan to record on Monday? Okay.
No, we usually do Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Unless we want to switch to Monday just to be like, oh, it's us. We have conjured another typhoon.
Yeah. Emma,
it's totally us.
You have your drink of the week with you?
Yes, I do.
There we go.
I'm now drinking a Moscato, so it's nice.
Oh, we got the sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Is it the no brand Moscato?
No, it's new. Because I'm very much a convenience store connoisseur, which I'm actually going to be writing an article because our current issue of Groove is going to be about wine. But a lot of people we contacted have not been getting back to us throughout the last night. We're like, shit, we don't have enough So I'm like, I'll write an article about convenience store wine.
That sounds like Groove in the last week before publication.
Yeah, so it's actually from Italy. It's like Gold Blossom. It was only like 9,900 won, and actually it tastes pretty good. Oh, the Conti.
Yeah. I will be honest, and I'm not a wine expert, but I hang around with wine snobs, and they've taught me. They've taught me a lot, and I've tasted a lot of good wine with them. The no brand Chardonnay is drinkable at 7,001.
Yeah, I will say, like, I've learned over the 2 years that I was freelancing and, not making any money. If I wanted wine, I was like, I can't be picky. And so some of it was like, it grew on me over time. But there's some cheap wine in the convenience stores. That's not bad.
And you will find out on the next issue of Groove Magazine.
In the next issue of Groove Magazine, yes.
Yes. Emma's the editor.
Mm-hmm.
She's the editor, and she's also at KBS Radio.
Yep. I read the news.
She reads the news. Also, Emma just told me a really interesting, scary story about what just happened to her.
I finally have a true scary story. I should post it on Reddit or something.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do. I've never done this before. We're gonna cut to her telling me the story. This is before we officially started the show. We're gonna cut to her telling me the story, and then we'll come back.
And I didn't even call the police over once I got back. Because it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, it has been.
And I was like, I feel really bad. I don't want to call them out in the middle of this downpour for a strange guy knocking on my door in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something, it could be nothing. I don't know. It very well could have been just like random drunk person who has amazing skills at getting in difficult places when they're drunk.
Yeah.
Because like as soon as I walked up to the door and I like shouted, I was like, "Who is it? What do you want?" And they didn't say anything. And I saw because I have kind of like a glazed decorative window slit thingy next to my door. So I saw somebody like move that way, like they were going onto the balcony, but I was like petrified, despite like how loud
you're by yourself too. That is really scary.
Petrified. And so like I just kind of like stood there and waited, and like they went onto the balcony for a bit, and then I saw them walk past back again. I was like, "Who is it?" And they like, I guess they just went off.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, well, fuck, now I can't go back to bed. Because my upstairs neighbor broke into my apartment in 2013 and attacked me.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of that. That really disturbed me hearing that.
That went on for a really long time. So that happened in early January 2013.
Yeah.
And like he didn't get sent. It wasn't over until June.
Well, hold on. I think I might have heard of that. I'm just because it sounds familiar.
I don't know if we were Facebook friends. I was posting about it.
I might have heard about it through the grapevine.
Yeah, because I had no qualms about talking about it.
That's
at the time.
So scary and so disturbing, and so it's been on my mind all day today thinking about that.
Yeah, and part of me, like in the light of day, especially because like my coworker had to remind me. At lunch, he was like, "Are you going to call the police?" And I'm like, "Oh right, yeah, I guess I should do that." And he was just like, "Why would you not?" And they were all kind of like, "Why didn't you call them last night?" And I'm like, "Well, first of all, I was like trying not to have an anxiety attack, so that was like the big one, just kind of like sitting there and regulating my breathing." Yeah. The next thing was like, oh, well, if I call them in the middle of the night, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find if they're going to have a translator. So I was like, if I'm going to call them, I'll just wait until I get to work. So that way, if they don't have a translator ready, I've got my coworkers. And so my coworker, he was like, okay, yeah, call them now. If they don't have a translator, I'm here. You've told me the story. I can explain everything. But thankfully, they had a translator. And so through them, they're like, okay, we'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm like, wait, no, I'm not there. I'll be home at 6. Can you come by at 6? And they were like, call us back at 6 and we'll send somebody and they'll be there within 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, no, like he didn't say. I was totally expecting to be like, oh, it was probably just a drunk person. It'll be fine. Call us if it happens again.
Yeah, very impressive that they were wanting to take action. Yeah. Yeah,
but they were like, okay, when you get home after work, call and we'll send somebody within 5 minutes to come over and talk to you. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was shocked because even when a guy literally attacked me in my bed, the first thing they said was, oh, it was probably somebody who lives near you who got drunk and wandered into the wrong apartment. That was like the first thing they said. And I'm like, no, don't. But I mean, they were really great detectives, and they were really like, after that, they really kind of like dug in and like, we're going to find this guy, we're going to put him in jail. So I have no complaints about them, but that was after, because I was working at the Herald at the time, and that was after a few of the Herald reporters called the police station and they're like, we're watching you. We know she's a foreigner, and we know you guys don't like to investigate crimes against foreigners, so we're a national paper. We're watching you. And then everything went swimmingly after that.
Well, because it's the Herald and not the Times.
Yeah, people still respect the Herald. But anyway,
the UFO paper of choice.
But yeah, so we'll see. Like, I might call them tomorrow and if it's not raining, I might call them because now
it'll be nuts. All right.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. If it happens again tonight, I'm definitely calling them. If nothing happens, then I'll probably just let it slide. But I'm definitely thinking I might purchase like one of those Wi-Fi security cameras to kind of like pop up to look at like my door and kind of going down.
Yeah, you can get them on AliExpress for $130.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about getting that just for peace of mind, you know?
Mm-hmm. And
that way, like, I can, if I have any problems with deliveries, I could be like, I saw that you did not come and deliver this.
Get a couple of them because you can have one in your house and keep an eye on your dog.
Yeah, that was another thing. I was like, I saw how cheap they were. I was like, I should get one inside the house so I could just like peep. But then I got to get like 3. I got to get 1 for each room. And I was like, so I could just watch and
so
watch
what
Morgan.
we were last year we were vacationing in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time the girls have been away from the cat. And so it's at night and we see the cat doing her usual thing, running around the living room. And so we turn it on and then we turn on the speaker and we start calling the cat, Kitty, Kitty. The cat's like,
yeah, I saw that. They have like 2-way speakers. I'm like, I want to do that. But I have to be careful because Morgan's an old boy and I don't want to give him a heart attack. You're like, Morgan, and he'll be like, what the? And then just watch him run from room to room, like, where the fuck is she?
I have a really good video somewhere of Gian and I are in the master bedroom, and in the living room's all dark, and we're playing with the camera, moving it back and forth, and like we see the cat going, but then the cat disappears, and then just like a horror movie, cat's face is in the camera and it smacks it.
See, like, honestly, that's another reason. Like last night, because at work, sometimes like in the afternoon when I'm getting kind of sleepy, I'll put on like these true horror story podcast YouTubes because there's a million of them.
Yeah.
And they just keep looping through. So I'll put that on because it scares the shit out of me and I don't fall asleep at the office. And so I've been listening to them yesterday at work. So when I first heard the knocking, I was like half awake and I'm like,
that's so scary.
I was like, oh, I'm just dreaming this. And I was like, fuck, this is a nightmare. And then I realized, wait, no, I'm awake and somebody is fucking knocking at my door.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I was like, because I knew my landlord needed to come by and pick up rent. I'm like, well, yes, usually. I thought maybe it was like 5 or something. And I'm like,
yeah.
Because they know I leave for work between 7 and 7:30. I was like, you didn't usually come this early. And I picked up my phone, and that's how I knew exactly what time it was. It was 3:11.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on. I was like, okay, so just like, don't do anything. Because I typically, especially during the summer, I typically sleep in the living room on my couch because my air conditioner's in the office. And my bedroom doesn't get cool at all. It's like a sauna. So I always sleep in the living room because the living room gets pretty cold, pretty cool. And then I always fall asleep with the TV on. So the TV was still on. And I accidentally left the volume up. And I'm like, so whoever was out the door, they could definitely, so like the lights, I had my lamp on. So they knew the lights were on, the TV was on. And I'm just kind of like on the couch, like, okay, don't do anything. They'll go away. And so like the knocking stopped. I'm like, okay, they're gonna go away. And then it started up again. And I'm like, shit, if this is a ghost, I don't believe in ghosts, but holy shit, if this is a ghost, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed off. And I kind of like, I got up and I like started creeping towards like the door and it stopped again. I'm like, okay. So maybe like they're gonna go away. Like, yeah, they went away. And then it started up again. And then I'm just like, God damn it. So that's when I went up to the door and I was like, who is it? What do you want? And like I could hear them kind of moving around. And that's when I looked over and I saw them like move, like they went over to the balcony. I didn't dare go over to the windows over in front of the balcony because I'm like, if I see a figure moving in front of those windows, I am just going to fucking lose it. I'm like halfway there already.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of stood there and I saw them walk past again. And then they like walked, I guess they left. And then I went and laid back down on the couch and I'm like, okay, go back to sleep. And I'm like, I'm never going to go back to sleep. Like, who am I kidding? And my alarm's going to go off in like less than 2 hours. Like maybe I should just get up and start getting ready. But then I heard knocking again, but it wasn't from my door. And I'm like, okay, so maybe they went down to the second floor. I'm like, but there's 2 apartments on the second floor. One is empty. The other one, when I came back from the convenience store around like 7:30 or 8, like his door was open and he's got like a mosquito net in front of it.
Yeah.
And I think he just leaves his door open all the fucking time. because it's so difficult to get into where our apartments are. Like that gate, you have to like literally shoulder it to get it open. So that alone is just like nobody just randomly wanders in there. There's so many times I've had delivery people who are like, your gate's locked. Can you come let us in? I'm like, it's not locked. You just have to shove it.
Yeah.
So I've taken to when like I've ordered food, I'll like go and open the gate so that they can come up. Or actually more often than not, they can't even find it. So I have to go out to the road and get it from them. Like that's how difficult it is to get up to my apartment.
Yeah, not only that, it's just even if I'm drunk, even if I think I'm at the right house, I still have trouble knocking on anyone's door at 3 a.m.
Yeah, like usually you would try the door first and then you would knock. And like, I mean, I don't know, maybe they tried the door.
That'll put your mind at ease. If they tried your door first.
Maybe they did and I missed it. If they did try it, I'm glad that I missed it because that alone would have had me in full blown panic attack.
Yeah.
Like curled up in the fetal position. I would have called into work and been like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I just heard, and it was so light. For the longest time, I was like, am I making this up? Am I dreaming this? Am I having a waking dream? And I'm like, no, somebody is definitely knocking. And then when I saw like the figure move through the window, I'm like, nope, somebody is actually out there.
And we're back.
I almost didn't even realize that you were recording during that. It wasn't until they're like, oh, let's start. I'm like, oh, you're already recording.
I set it up to automatically record just in case I
forget.
Because I forget.
There you go.
Because that's happened. That has happened. We did an entire show and we hadn't recorded.
And it's like, oh.
Never again. Let me double check. Are we recording now?
Yeah, we are. I see it. I see the little record in the corner of my screen. So,
well, thank you. That is a really scary, disturbing story.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I'm wearing my Shane Madaj "Hey Demons" T-shirt tonight. It was fitting. It's a dark and stormy night.
Can you figure out what my shirt says?
Okay, I see the OOYL. What is that creature? Is that I can't see. Is it a bird?
It's Yoda.
Oh.
Think about it. You have to think about it.
Oh my God.
It's a phrase that was popular in the 2010s. 2010s.
Only, wait, what? So YOLO is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You only live once.
Yeah. Think about how Yoda speaks.
Yeah, so only once you live.
Only once you live.
It took me a minute because it like moved them around in ways that I was not expecting. Like, no, I know the words. I just
you got faster than I did. You did.
Well, I do know my Star Wars a bit. Just a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're still in the peaks of the Sarangjail COVID outbreak.
Yes, we are. I think it was like 1,115 cases connected to the church as of noon today.
Mm-hmm. And he not apologizing. Never say sorry.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
He's like, hold a press conference and be like, the government is setting me up.
He's doubling down. He's doubling down.
Oh, he like went Trump double down today.
He was calling it the Wuhan virus for one thing.
Yeah, he called it the Wuhan virus in his press conference. He's like, the moon and his government are trying to blame the Wuhan virus on me and our church, but they failed because the public knows better. I'm like, who is giving you your information, dude? You need to fire them.
Yeah, I think his audience is getting smaller and smaller all the time because it's one thing to kind of claim that the government has it in for you or a certain administration has it in for you. But 120 businesses near his church are planning to sue him.
Right, because
that's not a
they've
government
lost
conspiracy. They lost business. That's no government conspiracy. That's not
No.
anyone trying to get political revenge on you. That's the public. That's the citizens of the country saying you're a douchebag.
And we lost business because of you, so we're gonna get our pound of flesh.
Everyone is going after the church now because the is it NHIS and IH the health
A national health insurance, NHI. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to try to collect from the church for all the money they spent treating people.
Yeah, because of the church.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,115 people.
Yeah.
How much does it cost? I mean, actually, I don't know how much it costs to treat one coronavirus patient.
They said 6 million.
6 million?
6 million
so
won.
6 million times 1,115.
Yeah, they're going to try. And so, but I think this also has an added effect because if I was a member of that church and they're wanting me to tithe, I'm like, but that's going to the government.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that.
I'm not going to tithe.
But that implies that they have free will and critical thinking skills.
True.
Yeah.
True. So be like, here's my money.
So anyway, a crazy pastor has he's gotten over the virus. As soon as he's released from the hospital, has a press conference to spew out his crazy. And yeah, before I think he might have had an audience, but now I think he's just relegated to conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like someone you would make memes of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Weren't there not memes, but I do remember there were a lot of photos running around of him in the press because he was like, "Oh, we follow quarantine. But then there were all these photos of him with his mask around his chin, and he's walking around talking on the phone outside.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, yeah, you're totally following quarantine there, dude.
He wasn't following. Yeah, so he's broken a lot of laws. I mean, he was back in March. He was in trouble for using the pulpit to push for. He was giving a list of candidates to vote for, which is illegal in Korea. So he was in trouble for election law. And then he was also running a rally, and so it was an illegal rally or something like that. But anyway, he was out on bail on the condition he wouldn't do another political rally until his trial.
Yeah,
he didn't do that.
No, Liberation Day.
Yeah,
where apparently,
the government's to blame for his behavior.
I read somewhere that it was 10,000 people, but it was actually close to 40,000 people that were out that day. And the government's we can't track down a lot of these people and get them tested.
Yeah,
it's that makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, don't expect any logic from this person. He's gone. He's over. He's gone. He's
done.
But he's out of it. That is someone on the end of their crazy. It's kind of like spoiler alert. It's kind of like Azula at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
You've never watched
it. There's no point in trying to rationalize. They're just
it's hair is all strewn wildly and screaming and shooting lightning out of your hands at everything around you. Yeah.
Well, thank God he can't do that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what's going on. Coronavirus. We may have peaked in this latest.
Possibly. I'm holding back that.
We are from experience. We've held back. But my thinking is that this might have been, we're getting better at this. I mean, the first one was Shincheonji. We were scrambling. What's going on? Then the May long weekend, what they call the Itaewon outbreak.
The Itaewon cluster, right? Yeah.
Itaewon cluster. That
one they got under control really quick.
But this one got really under control, I think, despite.
Yeah, because it hasn't even been a month.
Yeah.
And I think we might have already peaked. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we've already peaked.
Yeah, we've been under 300 cases for the last 4 days. So as long as we can keep people away from convenience stores.
Yeah, okay. So that's the other thing, because so now we're under level 2.5 social distancing, which I'm calling the PG-13 of social distancing.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to too.
Yeah, PG-13, because we're not at 3. They're scared to do it at 3.
We're not at R yet. We're not at R rating.
So it's like, but it's not 2.
Yeah, but I feel like in a lot of ways it's a little bit stricter than even what we were facing in the first wave.
Mm-hmm.
Because even then, like especially in because I live in the Itaewon area. I'm in Gyeonggi-gun, but over in HBC, even during like the first big wave, even during the Itaewon cluster, the bars over in Haewoncheon didn't shut down. Because even when they weren't registered as, they weren't clubs, so they didn't have to follow the shutdown order for clubs.
Yeah.
And then they were like, bars should shut down, but they're not registered as bars. A lot of them are registered as restaurants.
Yeah.
So they weren't legally obligated to follow. I mean, they did do like temperature checks at the door. You have to sign in. They did all of that, but they didn't have to shut down.
Yeah. Now
so this is the first time they actually have to shut down.
Between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m.
Right. So
or delivery only.
Right. And about 9 p.m., even on a weeknight, around 9 p.m. is when they start getting a lot of their business. So.
Yeah. Personal story. Saturday night, I was meeting a friend of mine, and there was nowhere to go. So what I did is I went to Chubby T's and got me some tacos. Chubby T's. I love Chubby T.
No, I see them on Shuttle, and I'm like, keep thinking I need to try them. They're on my list.
You know what? He's redone his place. It's a very tiny place up on the hill right next to Petra. And
that's not that far from me. It's a short walk from
when I'm drinking again, I'm going to go there to drink because he set up a really cool bar. Supposedly, I haven't tried his pizzas, but they look amazing.
Okay, you and me. It's a plan.
All right.
We can start drinking together. We're going to have pizza, tacos, and beer.
He's got some hip hop playing. He's got TVs playing some fun stuff.
That sounds like my
beers on tap, and it's a pizza and beer place, and it's got a bar. It's kind of like Tom's, but in Itaewon.
Okay, well, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but definitely.
We are not sponsored by Chubby T's.
Nope, not sponsored by Chubby T. So what I did was I went and picked up my friend, and I just drove up to Namsan. I was trying to get up to Namsan Park, and I just found this little grove that would have been, if I was a teenager, it would be the perfect place to make out. But instead, I just parked there, and we ate tacos and just talked, and it was great. Actually, it was one of the best times I've had with a friend in a while.
Yeah, I'm like, because of this, I'm like, okay, so this weekend, I'm like, I'm thinking about if it's not raining. Is it supposed to rain this weekend?
No, I think we're going to have a little bit of a high pressure system.
Okay.
Meteorologist Joe right here.
Yeah. No, I'm like thinking about maybe having a couple of my friends who live nearby who are feeling it. I don't feel it that bad, like, because I've actually wanted to stay home for the last few weekends. But, like, maybe invite them over onto my balcony and be like, you know what? We can sit on my balcony and drink.
I
just.
I didn't get my invitation.
2 feet apart. You can come too, Joe.
Okay. See?
We just have to sit, like, a foot apart from each other.
Guilting it.
You know what? I'm very much the more the merrier, as long as it doesn't get too crowded.
Yeah, I understand.
But that's literally the only way to hang out now.
So now all these places are closing down the bars. So people got to get their drink on. So they're going to convenience stores instead.
Mm-hmm.
And the government's trying to come out and say convenience stores aren't bars. And I'm like, what country are you living in?
And I'm sure if anybody who is watching this from a country that's not South Korea, they're like, wait a minute, the convenience store is a bar? What?
Yeah, it's they must be.
convenience.
Those people must be so detached that they're living in the same neighborhood the family from Parasite, the rich family from Parasite lives in.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when was the last time you took a subway? That was 20 years ago since I took the subway.
Oh my gosh.
When was the last time you got drunk at a GS25?
I think it was sometime in the last 2 months at least.
Yeah.
But usually that's where we ended the night. So like after over in HBC when like the bars and everything, because usually between 2 and 5 a.m. is when everything starts closing down. Everybody moves to the CU or there's like 2 CUs, a GS. There's a lot over in HBC.
They replaced the Pojang matchas that used to be all over Seoul. You used to go to the soju tents.
Yeah, because they stay open like almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, Kunde. I miss Kunde for that. Oh, actually, no. Like, I don't think I could do a full 24-hour thing again. But in my younger days, when I could drink all night
I would do an all-nighter. I try an all-nighter maybe once a year.
Oh, like there back in the day, I would get home at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, back my first year here, that was that every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 30 years old. Yeah.
See, I was in my 20s, and I was like, I could handle it.
Yeah, you're invincible then.
Yeah, nothing. But yeah, but now those places are now definitely shut down. If you're registered as a bar, if you're registered as a club, you're completely shut down. You're not allowed to open.
Yeah. And then, so now convenience stores are being restricted. What's the other bakeries? There was another place that they were saying.
Coffee shops.
Yeah, coffee shops. This is controversial on my end, but we have had clusters from coffee shops. So why are they not on the list?
Yeah, it's the big coffee franchises. They are not allowed, and no one's allowed to go in and sit down. You can only do takeout and delivery. But smaller coffee chains, I've heard, like independent shops.
Yeah, independent shops.
They're still allowed to have like people come in and sit down, but 9 p.m. you gotta get out.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hold on, tell me. It's telling me okay, never mind.
Yeah, maybe everybody in Seoul is going to be getting more sleep now because there's nothing to do after 9 p.m.
There isn't, and so they're also reducing the amounts of buses that leave the intercity buses. They're reducing them after 9 p.m.
Yeah, like by 20%.
Yeah. Which doesn't account for people that actually have to work and use those buses.
Which is actually the majority of the people who use those buses.
Yeah.
Like the government is under this sort of impression that most of the people that use those buses are people who are out drinking and partying.
Yeah.
But no, the drunk people are taking cabs home.
Yeah.
It's the people who have to work overnight shifts who can't afford to take cabs home.
Yeah.
Those are the people using. And so basically it does nothing to help and does everything to hurt. And I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, that's just a surface solution.
Yeah. Like, this is just like, we're trying to do something. And really not.
Just make it look like you're doing something.
Mm-hmm. It's like, come on, South Korea, you're better than that. We've been leading the way in this. And now you're just like making up shit.
It was working. It was working.
It was. And then the church people.
Twice we've gotten burned by church people.
Can we just
What's another news story? I have a list of news stories, and I'm just going to let ladies' choice. What do you want to talk about?
What do you Oh yeah, because there's actually, well, I mean, there's only like 2 that we haven't talked about, so we could definitely talk about both of them.
All right.
Actually, the CEO, that one, I read that and I was like, oh, Korea, and you're like, the only way that I can atone for my sins is to off myself.
Yeah. So background on this one is a travel company called Travelholic, young CEO. He
Yeah,
had
it's like 31.
he had lots of followers on Instagram, and he accidentally uploaded some porn on Instagram. Immediately took it down, but of course
it happens to all of us.
But immediately, you know, the Korean social sphere just demanded an apology. You should kill yourself or something like that. Whatever. It's like, okay.
Well, no, and it wasn't it gay porn as well.
I do not know, but it was. People are like saying this was very unprofessional, and I'm saying the point of an Instagram account, the point of a lot of social media accounts for brands is to make them look more personable,
right? Yeah,
not to be not professional, to let their hair down and, you know, make mistakes sometimes.
Maybe not porn, but
not porn, but I'm still like, people. I think people are trying to have their cake and eat it too. It's like we want to have a more personal connection on social media, but we still want everything filtered.
So you still have to be professional. It's like you can't be professional and personable at the same time.
Yeah. You can't just do like, oh, this is my daily morning routine, and but have
you're wearing like a tie the entire time.
Yeah, but have a whole cast of people like producing it and everything. It's like I was thinking of like someone's like showing off. This is how I make my coffee in the morning. I'm just waking up and I'm just having my coffee in the morning. Then if you pull the camera back, it's like a whole TV crew is there. Makeup artists and everything.
Well, I don't know about you, but that's how I make my coffee in the morning.
Yeah, with a TV
There's
crew.
like 10 people, with the cameras, and then like the makeup artists before. No, I set up my coffee pot the night before, so I stumble out of bed and I just press a button. And then, like, I stumbled to my bathroom, like, kind of leaving a trail of clothes behind me. I don't actually wake up until I'm halfway through my shower. And then I'm like, oh, wow, I'm awake now.
Yeah, there you go. I've gotten really nerdy with doing drip coffee now. So it is a multi-step process. But I've streamlined it so it's not that... I don't have to use a lot of brain power to do it. But it is a multi-step process.
Anything, because like I wake up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning, so anything to make my mornings go faster and smoother, I do as much as I can the night before. So
if I'm doing that, I try to get some leftover coffee and put it in the refrigerator so I can have a little quick shot of iced coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So yeah, I set up my coffee pot. So all I have to do is press the on button. If I'm planning on taking my lunch into work, I'll make it up the night before and stick it in the fridge. Sometimes I'll even go as far as laying my clothes out because some mornings I literally will just stand in front of my closet and I'm like, okay, let's.
You need to be like me and just do that uniform. I just have jeans and black shirt every time.
And, you know, half the week I do end up just wearing jeans and a t-shirt. It's usually a plain t-shirt. Or like if it's a graphic tee, I'll put a cardigan over it and be like, yes, I am professional. Not really. But like, I mean, even in my office, like within my team, I feel like I'm one of like 2 or 3 people who doesn't dress like super professional.
Oops.
Which sometimes
you're Yoido. Come on.
But sometimes I feel nervous about it. But with like the rest of the department, I'm very much in the majority of people who walk in wearing like t-shirts and jeans and shorts and like, you know,
that's
like,
the feeling
as long
I
as I have makeup on, I'm good.
Okay, because that's the feeling we have. We just moved into an office in Yoido, and immediately we started feeling underdressed compared to the usual people out in Yoido. But we're also in a WeWork, so the people inside WeWork tend to be a little more dressed down. So we're in between. It's good, but it got to the point that our designer and me, we went shopping to see if we could just upgrade our wardrobe yesterday after work. It was good bonding time. Can you believe it? It was just two straight men going out shopping. It was great.
It's like, oh, this brings out the color of your eyes.
It was great. We were doing that.
No, but honestly, you need that when you go shopping. Because I'm like, I tend to shop by myself.
I was going with
I would have somebody with me to be like, no.
I was going with our designer, and he's a good dresser anyway. And he has, of course, he's a designer, so he has a good eye for color. So he was giving me great recommendations that I would never have thought of. And so I'll consider that in the future. Oh yeah, he was recommending like this brown, like a reddish brown pants and suit with blue shoes.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, and they were blue suede shoes. Oh my God, they were blue suede shoes. They were. They were blue moccasins, and with like a reddish brown pants and kind of a tan shirt. It was kind of a cool.
It sounds very stylish.
It's putting together. Yeah, he was putting out some good. The thing is, when I finally found stuff I liked, of course, Korea couldn't find it in my size, and I love it when I'm going down the pants. I'm going down the pants. And I'm checking the sizes. And the sizes are up. It's like 32, 30, 34. 35. Oh, almost there. Oh, ran out.
Yeah, and then it skips to that. And you're like,
ran out. No, we hit the bottom. And it's like, no, they don't go to my size.
Yeah, no, I hit that a lot with my size now. Like even when I order online, like I'm like, okay, I love these jeans. I want these jeans, and I go and I'm like, okay, and then my size is like sold out. I'm like,
it's like the one size that's sold out. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know it's such a popular size.
Damn it! Why do it's either gain weight or lose weight? I don't know.
What my thing? I mean, I walked into a jeans shop one time. It looked really interesting, and there's a big jeans shop. Walk in. Right when I walk in, the guy behind the counter gives me the X, as in, we don't have anything in your size, fatso.
I know. It's been a while since I've actually like gone shopping in an actual store. Like I'm so busy and my work hours are so weird and I'm usually tired. So I just like, and I don't trust myself walking into a store. If I go into a store and I'm like, okay, I'm only here to buy one pair of jeans, I'll walk out like 150,000 won.
Oh, I don't do that. My problem is, and I'm a hunter. I'm kind of like, I have exactly what I have in my mind and I go in, and when I find it, I get it and I leave. The thing is, I've had such bad experiences, just like the one with the jean shop, that I just don't want to go to the stores anymore. I just shop online. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm usually AliExpress or Amazon. And that's why, or Hamilton shirts. Hamilton shirts for my shirts because they're tailor made. And then jeans I get from AliExpress, and then that's basically it. And then
I should check AliExpress. Maybe I could find like, do they do like electronics? I need a replacement screen for my laptop.
Yep. But then AliExpress I found a Korean kind of hit or miss, though. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I did find a Korean website that has it. It's about 48,000 won. Which is pretty cheap.
I'd go with the Korean site first when it comes to that stuff. Computer stuff.
Which now that I know that I can take it off.
Yeah, computer stuff I don't do. I've tried AliExpress a bit, and I think Gmarket's much better for computer stuff.
Well, I'll do that for my computer. This is way off topic.
Oh my goodness, what's his name?
Hold on. Oh, right, the dude, Phil?
Phil.
Yeah.
Phil's computer repository. Go to Phil.
Yeah. You're like the third person to recommend him.
He's great. I got my graphics card from him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just need the screen. Like, I could do the work because I actually took it off last night thinking, oh, maybe if I just like clean it, it'll go away. And then I cleaned it and then I put it back together and I'm like, nope, it's the same.
Yeah.
Got to replace the screen.
Go ahead and get yourself a new screen. Talk to Phil. You might pay a little bit more, but not much more because there will be less risk. No, Phil.
Yeah.
He builds computers. He builds computers for professional gaming. He's built computers for the announcers for esports. So he does some serious stuff. He knows his stuff.
I'll be like, I'll send him a picture of the laptop, and then I'll send him like the one of like the sticker on the bottom that's like halfway worn off, and I'm like, give me a screen for this one.
Yeah. So
Please.
anyone listening, if you want to check it out, it's Phil's Computer Repository on Facebook. He's based out in Yongsan.
And he speaks English and Korean.
Yes.
So if you're watching this, you probably speak English.
Yeah. He's very, very personable guy and honest.
Yeah, I'm planning on contacting him. But I have to decide if I want to do it this or if I want to do it now or if I can wait until my next paycheck.
Okay.
Which is... Oh, wait. Why is my calendar still on August? Yeah, which is the 21st. So...
You got some time.
I got some time. So it's like, how long can I deal with that screen?
Maybe you'd be waiting so long that the Korean Conservative Party would have changed their name again.
Possibly. I know that was a great segue. But it's entirely possible.
Yeah. So the UFP, was it the United Future Party?
United Future Party, yes.
Mire Jindang? Is that what it was? Yeah, no, Future is Mire. They changed their name because they lost. Anytime a party loses, they change their name.
Yeah, I feel like that.
But the conservative parties tend to change their names more often. I think even if they win, they change their name. It's like
Celebrate
all the time. Because when I first came to Korea, the conservatives were the GNP, the Grand National Party.
Yeah, but I feel like they kept that one for a while because when I came to Korea in 2007, it was still the Grand National Party.
Then around Park Geun-hye time, when Park Geun-hye was that around that? They called themselves the Saenuri Party, which was the weird name.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because even in English media, we just called it Saenuri.
Saenuri,
there was like.
Sounds like English. The Korean word for bird brain.
Maybe it was. Yeah, no, but so it was Saenuri Party.
And then Liberty Party, Liberty Korea Party, which I don't even remember that change.
Oh, yeah, that was like that was really short. I almost forgot about that one. No, I forgot about Liberty Party. I do remember Liberty Korea Party. The LKP. Okay,
the LKP.
Yeah, I remember that because we would often, in articles, go by their abbreviation. So I do remember LKP.
Okay.
And then, wait, when did they change to UFP?
Well, now UFP I think it's an offshoot. And so what it was is I think after the Park Geun-hye thing and Moon Jae-in came in, there was a splinter in the conservatives, and the really hardcore conservatives created the UFP.
And then everybody joined it because they were trying to get far away from Park Geun-hye.
So the UFP is now the FKP.
Yeah.
United Future Party is the Future Korea Party, which I don't understand what difference that makes.
Yeah, one is like so the UFP is like the main party, and then the Future Korea Party, that's the offshoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now they're all together, and they were like, oh, now that we're all joined together, we're going to change our name.
Yeah. There's also the Liberty Forward Party that changed their name to the Advanced Unification Party, but they don't exist anymore.
No.
The Pro-Park Coalition became the Future Hope Alliance. They don't exist anymore. A lot of these parties disappeared after 2012. When Park
because like they didn't get voted back into office. So
then the Bareun Party, and then the Bareunmirae Party.
Yeah.
The New Conservative Party. They just keep changing their names,
and
rebranding themselves.
The Until Sue still has his party. He's come back out of retirement. He's back in politics.
He retired?
The People's Party. half a minute.
As long as Anchal Su is no longer making security software, I'm fine.
I think he's the people's. Isn't he like the People's Party?
You know, there's a thing called Google.
I know. That's why I'm just like, give me a second.
Hold on. Okay. Anchal Su Party.
People Party, yeah.
People's Party.
Yeah, the People's Party.
People Party. People Party.
Yeah, so he's the head of the People Party. And now the U.S.
And he was in the Bareunmirae Party.
Right. He helped found it, I think. Or
yeah, because he was trying to be the middle ground.
Or if that's what it became after they merged together.
Yeah, he was trying to be the centrist candidate.
The moderate. But moderate candidates don't work in Korea.
This is the land of extremes.
Yeah, you got to be one side or the other. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
There used to be a middle ground in America, too.
Anchal Su, we'll hear a lot of him again, a lot about him again. If you're not familiar with him, if you ever tried the OnLabs software, which pretty much is trashware that infects your PC, but every Korean PC has it. It's supposedly security software like Norton, but Norton's crap too. He is the Norton. It's almost like that.
Korean Norton. His company created all of that.
So anytime
and then one day
you have all this shovelware you're always having to click stuff to get on a website, and you're having to click stuff to get the website to work, and it's secretly loading the software in the background, and you can't get rid of it. And it's slowing your computer down. Even when you're shutting down the computer, it will say some mystery software is keeping it from shutting down. It's usually made by Anchal Su's company. Yeah.
He wasn't a much better politician either.
Yeah, it's kind of like 90s antivirusware.
Yeah.
Where they try to just, we'll protect your computer if we can secretly fill up your computer with all this other junk.
Wait, he's a doctor too?
Yeah, well, he's Dr. On. Yeah. People called him that.
He's a medical doctor.
Yep.
A South Korean politician, medical doctor, business person, and software entrepreneur.
Just doing everything, huh? He's got that bucket list. Yeah.
But anyway, no, I think like the Conservative Party, the UFP, I think they like snitched from Anchal Su with their new party name. I was on my way home and I got the text message from my boss, and he was like, "Okay, this is the official English translation that we're using."
Oh my goodness!
I about died because we were joking about this the other day about what it could end up being, and this was the one where he was like, "I hope it's this one," just so the abbreviation, like it's going to be so fun.
Run it by me. What was the abbreviation you wanted?
He wanted PPP. And he got it.
You got it?
It's People's Power Party.
People's Power Party. PPP.
I was hoping for what was it? There was like a very Star Wars one. The Force.
Oh yeah, it was like the Force Party. Yeah.
People's Force Party. Or
yeah.
Something like that. I was like, I want that one, because when that one popped up, all the Star Wars jokes, the Star Wars jokes were happening at the office. I'm like, I want that one.
Yeah.
Because then every time it comes across in an article, I am going to like put as many Star Wars puns as I can get away with into each and every article.
Yeah, if that was true, you just give me a text.
Yeah,
and I'll give you help
the
on
People's
that one.
Force Party. That was one of the English translations that they were looking at. The People's Force.
That was such a waste.
The Force Party. The Force Party.
The Force Party. So much could have done that. It could have rivaled the best Star Wars headline ever, which was in a Korean newspaper, which was Skywalker crosses Han Solo. That was in the Korea Herald.
Oh my god!
It was about a tightrope walker crossing the Han River. It said Skywalker crosses Han Solo.
Oh my god! What year was this?
Long time ago. Look it up.
Ah, that's a good one.
It's the best. It is the best.
But now we've got the People's Power Party.
PPP.
Yeah, PPP.
PPP.
For some reason, I keep thinking Powerpuff Girls, and I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
it is Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, it makes me think of that too. Just doing lots of urination jokes, I guess. It turned,
At least
like,
it wasn't Power Party. If it was Power Party, then it's like PP.
yeah,
The
Power
PP.
Party, PP, the PP.
Yeah, imagine me having to say that in a newscast.
Yeah,
The
and then
PP. So the PP voted. Oh god. Oh. PPP is a little bit better than just PP. No, it's not.
They're to clean up the PPP party. I mean, come on,
God,
PPP clean up.
Somebody is going to do that.
Yeah.
Some politician is going to make some quote saying, like, I am here to clean up the PPP.
The PPP.
Oh, I'm just like, do you not have like a native English speaker to?
Of course
or
not.
Maybe,
it's the Ajah. She's in charge. The AICs. They
or maybe they do, and someone is just playing a really horrible
trolling?
joke on them. Yeah, they're like, no, you should totally be the People's Power Party.
Yes.
It'll be so great in English. It's gonna be so great.
That's great. And then yeah, I'm just trying to figure out a way to throw golden shower in there.
Sorry, I almost did a spit take there. I like sucked some of it up my nose, so like tear it up just a little bit.
I should have warned you.
You should have warned me about that one.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Just breathe. Breathe, Emma. Breathe, Emma. You're doing great.
I'm good.
Worry about you and your balcony guest and
my middle of the night balcony guest.
Yeah.
If he comes tonight, well, I'm calling the police. Again. This time I'm going to actually tell them to come. Be like, take them away.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, at least somebody's using the balcony.
True. Maybe everyone tell us in the comments what Emma should do.
What I should do about my balcony guest.
Yeah.
It was only like last night was the first time it happened, so hopefully that was the only time it will happen.
Okay. Good.
Hopefully.
Like, the last night was just the rehearsal.
It was just the rehearsal. Tonight is the big show.
No, not even the dress rehearsal. It's just, Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we're not making light of a serious. This is just how I cope with things. I just laugh and make inappropriate jokes.
Yeah. Well, until then, so what we're going to do is thank you. We're going to wrap things up.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, if you like the show, please subscribe, give us likes, give us reviews. We're getting this whole podcast going again. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/SeoulPodcast where you can get back episodes going all the way back to 2008.
It's a long time ago.
This kind of historical. It's kind of historical. And we didn't.
It doesn't feel like 2008 is that long ago, but when I stop and think about how old I was in 2008, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I graduated college in around there's about.
Oh, okay.
Now, I graduated in 2007, so I'm like, yeah, that was.
And you were on time, too.
Yeah,
I graduated within 4 years.
I graduated within 4 years. I went straight to college.
Good job.
Cheers to me.
Cheers on that. That's a little less student loan money you have to pay back.
Oh, it still took me 10 years to pay it back.
No, I'm still. I'm paying mine until I'm 65. I actually calculated.
Oh my god! I mean, I went to private Christian school, but half of everything was covered by scholarships and financial aid, and then my parents and I split the other half.
Good.
But then I ended up taking over my parents' loans during the recession.
Oh.
So I think I paid. So of the half between the us. I think I paid for, I don't know, because I paid for about maybe 3/4. Took 10 years to pay off the 2 loans.
That's
about normal.
That's student loans.
That's about normal.
I'm not gonna tell anyone about mine. It's kind of sad. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please, if you have any show ideas, please put them in the comments.
Let us know.
Yes. Thank you, Emma. Until next time, stay safe.
Yep.
The Soul Podcast is produced by Joe McPherson and is copyrighted 2020 by Zenkinchi International under the Creative Commons license. Parts of this podcast may be used for non-commercial purposes if you remember to give us credit. You can contact us at sejong@soulpodcast.com. That's SEJONG@soulpodcast.com. For a transcript of this episode, listen to it again and write down what you hear. Please support us at patreon.com/soulpodcast.